Hi friends! Before I start posting more videos about Japan and learning Japanese, I thought I should explain why I'm learning Japanese in the first place. And to do that, I have to go back a couple of years. Because when I was about 4 or 5 years old, I always watched TV alone when my parents were still asleep in the morning. And one day I stumbled across a Japanese holiday called Hina Matsuri. It's a day where families pray for their health for their little girls in the family and also put out ornamental dolls on a stand. So me being a little girl, of course, I was instantly drawn in by all these cute little dolls, and of course I kept watching. It was the first time that I saw Japanese temples and bamboo and in general Asian culture, because I didn't come across Asian culture before that. So since then I like everything that has to do with Japan, so like anime or sushi or Japanese language in general, like the sound of the language. And I even played Sudoku when I was a little kid. And yeah, I can't really say why I'm so fascinated by it. My boyfriend always asks me, why do you study Japanese so hard? And what is it about Japan that you like so much? But I can't give an ultimate answer to that. It just feels like it belongs to me, like it's a part of myself, and if I don't study Japanese, I don't know, I don't feel happy. When I was in high school, I really wanted to do an exchange year in Japan, but my parents didn't let me go, unfortunately. So I said, okay, then I will just study Japanese by myself, and I teach myself some Japanese with YouTube and learned a few random words like tegami or tomodachi or like kore, sore, are. So I got a tiny foundation, kind of. But after summer break, I also took on a part-time job to save for my gap year in Australia, and also had to study for my A-levels, so I didn't have time to study Japanese, unfortunately, so I dropped it. But when I was in uni, I finally made my dream come true of going to Japan in 2019, and I'm so happy that I did it because it was just so nice. Like, the whole experience was even better than I imagined, and I loved the country so much that I just thought, okay, and the next time I go back, I really want to be able to speak Japanese, because even then I just knew a few basic phrases, but when I used these, everyone was always so happy and accommodating, and they were so excited that I'm, as a European person, want to study Japanese or like know a little bit of Japanese. There were so many oji-sans, like old men, that wanted to talk to me and my travel partner at the time. They were just so nice and tried to communicate with us in their English, which was not so great, but they tried their best and wanted to talk to us. So I said, okay, the next time I'm in Japan, I really want to be able to communicate in Japanese so that the language barrier is a lot smaller. That's also why in the next semester, when uni started again, I signed up for a Japanese class in uni. And I went there for about 6 months. Unfortunately, it was my last semester in uni because I got my bachelor's degree afterwards, so I couldn't continue going there. So I studied by myself at home. And at first it was a bit hard for me to get into the rhythm of things. I soon found a language learning partner, a guy in my city who also wanted to study Japanese, but we had very different learning paces, so we only studied about a year together, and afterwards I continued on my own. But I had a lot of study slumps and I made a lot of breaks because I was a bit unmotivated with all the things going on the last 2-3 years, and I wasn't really sure when I'm able to go back to Japan, and I didn't really have a clear goal in mind, so it's made it really hard to stay consistent. In January 2022, I opened my Instagram account for learning Japanese. I met so many nice people over there and got accepted really quickly in a really nice and supporting language learning community, and also learned so many great tips on what apps to use, etc. So this definitely helped to get motivated again and also to study regularly. And since I think March last year, I've been studying Japanese every single day for at least half an hour, sometimes 3 or 4 hours. It depends on the day and how much time I have, but I've been really consistent since then, and I really seen my Japanese get a lot better. And I'm also planning to take the JLPT N4 in summer, because the reason is, drumroll please, I'm going to Japanese language school! Yay! In Japan, actually. So I'm really excited about this, and I've decided to go last autumn, I think. After traveling to Japan in 2019, I really knew that I wanted to stay there longer the next time I come. Originally, I wanted to stay for a year, but it's a little bit expensive to stay there for a year and don't really have a full-time job. So I decided for a more realistic goal that I will only stay for about half a year. Of course, if you want to stay in Japan for more than 3 months, you need a visa. Not just a tourist visa, but like a proper visa, and you need a reason to be there. And there were 3 options for me. Number 1 was to marry a Japanese person and basically get a spouse visa, but of course I have a boyfriend and I don't really want to marry for a visa, so this was not an option. Then the option 2 was to find a full-time job there and get a working visa and a company who sponsors my visa. But I don't really think there is a lot of a market for like a personal trainer and nutritionist who only speaks English and German well and not really Japanese, so I didn't look into that. And the third option is basically to get a student visa and go to Japanese language school, and this is what I decided on. Is it the most logical step for my career to go to Japan for half a year? Probably not, but will I enjoy it? Definitely. I thought about this for like quite a long time if I really want to do it, and I always envied people who did it. So I thought to myself, okay, I think I will probably regret this all my life if I don't do it now, because I think it gets a lot harder, at least I read it gets a lot harder after you are 35 or like even 30 sometimes. Some language schools don't take students who are over 30. And the time I'm going, I will be 27. So I'm quite close to the 30. And I mean, what better time to do it now? Because I really want to get a dog in the future. But of course, I don't want to take my dog to Japan with me because it's quite difficult to take your pets with you and get all the documents, vaccinations and everything. So I thought, okay, I'm still young and I don't really have a high work position, so I don't have a lot of things to lose. But I'm also planning on taking a part of the job with me, so I hope I can do remote work when I'm in language school, so that I also have a little side income and I don't lose my job, hopefully. I'm planning to go to Japanese language school in autumn 2024, and I'm really excited because I really miss being a student. I know you don't hear this so much, but I really like learning and I quite miss my uni days. So I'm really excited to sit in the classroom again and write tests and everything. I really hope that after going to language school, I'm able to take the N3 JLPT and be a lot better at speaking, because I really suck at speaking. I had a few italki lessons already to try to improve my speaking, but I just freeze. I can't think of anything. I am really good at writing, but yeah, speaking is a whole another thing. I really hope I can express my feelings and just get better in communicating overall. I haven't decided on what school I want to go to yet, because there are so many, and of course I don't know if I get accepted to the first one I apply to, but I definitely know that I want to study in Tokyo, because when I was in Japan it was my favorite city. I know Tokyo is such a standard spot for tourists, but there are also so many possibilities, vegan restaurants, and I also have 2 acquaintances living there, so it would be really nice to live close to them so that I can hopefully do something with them and they could probably introduce me to their friends so that I also know some Japanese people. There's quite a process involved with getting the visa for staying in Japan for so long and also getting into language school. So if you want to, I can make a separate video on that, like how I'm planning on getting into language school. If you've made it so far into the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you want to stay updated on my journey to going to Japanese language school, learning Japanese, healthy food, fitness, and also some self-development, please consider subscribing. And also, if you have any questions regarding Japanese language school, learning Japanese, or anything else, please leave them in the comments below and I will try my best to answer them or make a separate video about them. Thank you for watching my video, and if you want to see more about me learning Japanese, please check out this video in the corner. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye!